So my question is, my mother has a dog, and the dog licks my mother's hands, and my mother, without washing her hand, touches wet clothes to dry them on a rope from the washing machine. So my question is, what should I do? Though I told her to wash her hands.
You're speaking like 60 words per second. A dog licked your mom's hands, and your mom touched dry clothes? Afzan?
Wet clothes.
She touched wet clothes, and then what happened?
Yes. And then she put on a rope to dry them from the washing machine.
Well, when the dog licked your mom's hand, did he lick the back of her hand or the palm of her hand?
The palm.
The palm of her hand. This means that there is saliva on her hand. If she touches wet clothes, the wet clothes she touched the first time would become impure. But she cannot continue to distribute impurity all of her life, for the rest of her life, on everything she touches just because of the lick of the dog. The moment she touched one dry clothes and hanged it out, most likely the najasa has depleted and gone. You cannot cascade this to the rest of the bucket of wet clothes in there. And you cannot assume, because everything in this world is pure until proven. And we don't have any proof except visibly seeing the dog licking her palm and touching a piece of cloth and hanging it. That would we consider to be najis, but the rest won't be considered to be najis, and Allah knows best.
Araq from the UK says, now in the Maliki school of thought, they were the only people who went against considering the saliva of a dog, a canine, to be impure. They said, no, it is pure. And they quoted few hadiths here and there, such as a pool that they used to drink from, such as them going in and out from the Masjid of Medina, of the Masjid of the Prophet ﷺ, and other examples. But all of these do not stand up to the hadith, which is highly authentic, without any doubt in it, which all the other schools of thought, the school of Abu Hanifa, of Shafi'i, and of Ahmad bin Hanbal, agreed to consider it the cornerstone when talking about a dog's saliva, which stated that the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, the purification of any of your utensils that happened to have a dog lick in it is to wash it 7 times with water and once with soil. In another narration, the 8th with soil. So this hadith indicates that the najasa, the impurity of a dog's saliva, is of the highest levels, because urine, defecation, menstruation, blood, all of these are impure and najis, but they can be washed, squeezed, and washed again, and that's it. It's purified. Not with the dog's saliva when licking in a utensil. That dish, that plate, that glass has to be washed 7 times, even though we don't see anything on it. But it has to be washed 7 times and once with soil. So this is the most authentic opinion, backed by the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, that is unambiguous, that does not accept any room of error, and Allah knows best. Fatima from the US.
Sheikh, how do I go about cleaning myself and items in my house? Because I put my hand in a wet bowl that had dog saliva in it, and so I proceeded to touch wet laundry, took a bath, and touched other things with my wet hands without washing them 7 times with soil.
So you placed your hand in a bowl that had saliva of a dog?
Yes.
Okay, I will answer inshallah. She says there was a plate that a dog licked in, and she got her hands into it, and then she took a shower, she made wudu, she touched everything. So what's the ruling on that? It's an issue of dispute between schools of thought. I personally, without going into details, I'm inclined to the fact that only what the dog licked or ate from in form of utensils must be washed 7 times with water and once with soil. Anything else does not require these 8 washes. It does not require soiling or using soil or sand or dust or whatever. Why? Because the hadith directly addresses the issue of the dog licking in your plate or on your dish or licking your utensils, not anything else. And the Prophet ﷺ, at one stage of time, his grandson had a puppy in the house. And I've mentioned this before, Jibreel refused to enter the house until the puppy was taken out. So the Prophet did not tell them to wash the whole house and the furniture, the ground, because there was a puppy. Which means that your wudu, your ghusl, touching things with wet hands afterwards has no impact on the purity of the house.